City Utilities Committee. I am Councilmember Antonio Lewis, Chair of the committee. I'm joined by council members from my left, Councilmember Alex Wan, Councilmember Ishay Collins, and to my right, Councilmember Howard Shook. Can I have a motion to approve want to make one change to the agenda. We want to take our legislative items first. Can I have a motion to approve? It's been moving properly second. Boom. Moved by Councilmember Shook, second by Councilmember Wan. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The agenda has been adopted.
It's been moving properly adopted to approve the minutes, and we've also been joined by Councilmember Matt Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The minutes have been approved. 5 yeas, 0 nays. The minutes have been approved.
Mr. Johnson, can you go into the regular agenda, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair. This takes us to we have no speakers for public comment. This takes us to regular agenda, Section G, ordinance for second reading. Item number 1, 2050-1657, an ordinance by Councilmember Andrea L. Boone, authorizing the City of Atlanta to waive Chapter 2, Article 10, Division 4, Section 2-1187 and Section 2-1292E, Procurement and Real Estate Code of the City of Atlanta Municipal Code of Ordinances, as well as any other conflicting code provisions to ratify services rendered in connection with special procurement agreements listed herein. A and B, garbage trucks maintenance and repair with Nextran Corporation beginning October 30th, 2025, and Truck Service Depot LLC beginning October 22nd, 2025, and to authorize the mayor or his designee to exercise the first renewal option under the agreements on behalf of the Department of Public Works for Nextran Corporation for a term of 1 year, retroactively effective November 1st, 2025 through October 31st, 2026 for the Truck Service Depot LLC for a term of 1 year, retroactively effective October 24th, 2025 through October 23rd, 2026, and to add funding in a total amount not to exceed $162,000.00. All contract work will be charged to and paid from the fund, department, organization, and account numbers listed herein. And for other purposes, Mr. Chair.
Second, it's been moving properly second to bring forth the substitute. Moved by Councilmember Wan, second by myself. Please open the vote. Thank you.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. The substitute before you. The substitute makes minor revisions and adds language in Section 7 clarifying that the waiver of the source selection provisions does not waive the contract formation requirements or any other applicable provisions of the Procurement and Real Estate Code.
Second, it's been moving properly second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable on substitute. Item number 2, 2050-1660, an ordinance by Councilmember Andrea L. Boone, waiving Part 2, Chapter 2, Article 10, Division 4 of the Atlanta City Code, as well as any other conflicting code provisions, to authorize the mayor or his designee to execute the second amendments to emergency procurement agreements listed herein for small meter installation services with Titan Unlimited LLC and KM Davis Contracting Company Incorporated, respectively, on behalf of the Department of Watershed Management, to extend the term of each agreement for 2 years, effective January 15, 2026 through January 14, 2028, to add funding in the combined amount not to exceed $4 million and 0 cents. All contract work will be charged to and paid from the fund, department, organization, and account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
We have something from the department.
Yes. Good morning, Chairman Lewis, members of City Council. This legislation has been spoken is to add additional time as well as dollars to the emergency service agreements that we have both with Titan and KM Davis who are performing new meter installs as well as meter relocations. So the total amount is $4 million, which will be split between the two vendors. KM Davis is for $3 million. Titan Unlimited is for $1 million. The additional time of 2 years is also being requested at the recommendation of our purchasing department. Both contractors have performed satisfactory, and as you know, this work is critical to performing new meter installs as well as those relocation of existing meters.
Councilmember Wan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for the presentation. All right, what's giving me heartburn here is this is an emergency procurement,
Yes, sir.
and we're extending it for 2 years.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't make sense. Like, to me, emergency procurement should be for a short period of time to allow us to go into a regular procurement. So explain to me why we're not taking that path.
This, if I may talk from a historical perspective, we had actually tried to secure a procurement, full service procurement back in 2023, I believe. That was deemed non-responsive. These contracts actually allowed us to continue those services throughout that time period. We're there again at that juncture where we're also looking to bring someone on, to your point, on a permanent basis or a contractual basis. We just haven't gotten there yet. And there again, I go back to the additional time as well as the length was at the recommendation of our purchasing department. So we are in communication with them. We are working through trying to get a full solicitation completed. We're just not there yet.
But 2 years? That seems exorbitant to me.
I understand, but there again, and if someone's from procurement here who would like to speak to this.
Yeah, someone come help him with it. Because the other question I have, while if there is someone for procurement here is, and I'm trying to pull up our agenda stuff, does our documentation that associated with this include a letter from the CPO authorizing the emergency procurement?
Yes. So all that should be in the package, Councilman Wong.
Okay, I'm going to look for it as we are talking right now. Yeah, I'm going to need to hear from procurement in order to support this. I have a real problem with extending an emergency procurement for 2 years when it looks like we've had this for a substantial amount of time. So, Mr. Chair, I will yield to my other colleagues and see if we can get procurement to come down and explain this to us, please.
Thank you. Mr. Shook, please.
Ditto. He beat me to it, and I knew he would.
And same thing, I think we've been having a lot of questions around the same stuff the last couple of days. But in 2 years, I think is the stickling part. And we need the trucks moving, but we don't think this is an emergency.
Understood.
So,
Yeah.
we can do it by consent. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that takes us to item number 3, 25-01663. Been ordinance by council members Antonio Lewis, Andrea L. Boone, and Ishay Collins to amend Chapter 154, Article 2 of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances so as to add new definitions, including department error and one-time usage spike, to expand eligible billing adjustments and credits, to revise the Commissioner's authority relating to billing adjustments, and to update procedures of the Water Source Appeals Board and for other purposes.
So it's been moving properly second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Congratulations.
Well, everyone, the vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Item number 4, 25-01671. An ordinance by Councilmember Matt Westmoreland, waiving Part 2, Chapter 2, Article 10, Division 4 of the Atlanta City Code, as well as any other conflicting code provisions, to authorize the mayor or his designee to execute the First Amendment to agreement listed herein, Whittier Mill Sanitary Sewer Improvements with Integral Municipal Services Corporation, Rockdale Pipeline Incorporated, joint venture on behalf of the Department of Watershed Management, to extend the term of the agreement for a period up to 12 months, to add funding to the agreement in amount not to exceed $8,200,000.00. All contract will be charged to and paid from the fund, department, organization, and account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Second. Well, actually, I think we have a few questions from Councilmember Shook.
Well, yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit more about what the unforeseen construction delays and unexpected severe deterioration mean.
Good morning, Chairman Lewis and council members. My name is Adi Agon, Deputy Commissioner, Office of Engineering Services. Thank you for that question, Chairman, Councilmember Chuk. Yeah, this is one of the oldest historical community in the city. And the community has been on a grapevine sewer all these years, in very bad conditions, actually, which has caused a lot of problems over the years. What we're trying to do really is to restore the sanitary sewer system, fix the storm drainage system, basically restore the entire community to a condition where we will not have to go back there to deal with issues that we've dealt with over the years. As far as the unforeseen conditions, one of the things that we saw very quickly is that the grapevine sewers, right, were connected at the back of the property. Basically, they run at the back of the properties, and the connection was at the back of the property. Now that we're actually putting in our own sewer, they are in front of the properties within the right-of-way. So we have to extend the laterals from the back of each house to tie into the new sewer lines. So that was grossly unseen, I would say. We didn't actually anticipate that level of connection for each of the properties. There are 34 connections that are lengthy, that are in rock also. So there will be rock excavation, there will be some blasting, controlled blasting. So that's why it's a lot of things actually were kind of surprising, meaning if we had built the sewer, the city to city standards, right, we expect less of what we're seeing now. So this is just trying to fix it all, make it all.
All right, Ade, it's a good thing for the department they have you up here explaining this.
Thank you.
Otherwise, I'd probably have a whole lot more questions. But thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman.
Mr. Wan, you have questions? Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Item number 5, 25-01672, an ordinance by Councilmember Matt Westmoreland, authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to amend the FY 2026 Water and Wastewater Renewal and Extension Fund budget in the amount of $1,865,897.11 to transfer funds from completed projects with balances for repurpose on the Water and Wastewater Renewal Fund and add funds to the Valley of the Hawks project and for other purposes.
It's been moved and properly second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. This takes us to Section H, Resolutions. Item number 6, 25R4223, a resolution by council members Andre L. Boone and Ishay Collins authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta's Keep Atlanta Beautiful Commission to accept a donation from Keep America Beautiful in partnership with Keep Atlanta Beautiful Commission and American Express Foundation, an amount of $17,500.00 to extend projects related to Keep America Beautiful, the Greatest American Cleanup, and similar projects and for other purposes. Mr. Chair, this item will need to be substituted. Substitute corrects the donation amount in the now therefore be it resolved clause.
Bring forward. Second. It's been moved and properly second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. The substitute is before you.
It's been moved and properly second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable on substitute. Item number 7, 25R4224, a resolution by council members Andre L. Boone and Ishay Collins authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to Keep Atlanta Beautiful Commission to accept a donation from Keep America Beautiful in partnership with Keep Atlanta Beautiful Commission in Hilton in the amount of $22,500.00 to send projects related to Keep America Beautiful, the Greatest American Cleanup, and similar projects and for other purposes.
It's been moved and properly second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. The item is favorable. Item number 825R4270, a resolution by City Utilities Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute the appropriate documents to accept on behalf of the City of Atlanta an in-kind donation from the Georgia Power Company's Make Ready program services to install electric vehicle charging infrastructure at 5 city facility value at the amount of $1,500,000.00 and for other purposes.
Someone from the department here to answer a few questions.
Good morning, everyone. Chandra Farley, Chief Sustainability Officer.
Good morning, Councilmember Wong.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So have the 5 locations been determined yet? And then are these for employees? Are they free, or are we going to be charging people to use these?
Yes. So all 5 sites have been selected. It's a combination of 4 sites that are a part of our EPA Clean and Heavy Duty Vehicles Grant Program in partnership with Department of Public Works. And then one of them, and Watershed and the airport. And then one of them is for a project over here at Phoenix Park 3, a right-of-way charging pilot in partnership with Department of Transportation. So all the sites and addresses have been selected.
And are they for city vehicles, or are they for employees, or for the public?
So the first 4 that are in partnership with our departments are for city departments, and Eric Smith, who I was going to introduce during our quarterly presentation, who is new to our team, can provide further details. And then the Georgia Hill site will be open to both because it will be accessible to the public.
And again, is it for free, or are they going to be charged to charge? I didn't realize that. Yeah.
So for our city sites, and if Eric has more of an update on the charging, if not, that's okay. We're still working through this. So since we installed the chargers at the Government Center parking deck, we've kind of been working through what our employee charging protocol is going to be. Right now, they are complimentary, and not just to us, but anyone parking in the Government Center deck. We are exploring right now in the process of procurement a number of different revenue sharing models. There are a lot of third-party groups who want to partner with the city to help us either look at models to retain some revenue in part or into all. So TBD on exactly what those will be, but certainly for our fleet, we are charging and will certainly be charging for things like staying too long at the chargers. We don't want to set up a culture of charge hogging as it is at a premium.
Okay. I mean, I'm supportive of us installing these. I would, to the extent that we can figure out how to make it free to employees in the public, I think we should do that, and to encourage the use of these. I'm less concerned about a revenue sharing model because it's a habit and a kind of a shift that I think we really need to be investing in. So I'll make a motion to approve. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
And I have a few questions before we go forward. The Georgia Hill site, what's the address? You said Phoenix Park? I'm only asking that because I'm thinking about where they're located.
So I was, do you have the map for that area? No?
It sounds like a pretty innovative project
Yeah.
that the Transportation Department is doing, and I've been requesting those below I-20 as well.
So it is 6-something Connolly Street. Sort of like at the intersection of Connolly and Georgia Avenue.
How do we get these? So my issue right now is I wish there were 6. I wish that there was one either in Southwest Atlanta or one in South Atlanta, same type of project that they're doing with the ATL DOT. And so that's my only issue right there. But I think there's been a motion made by Councilmember Juan and a second by Councilmember Ishay Collins. But that's my issue. I want a little equity. Thank you again.
Yeah.
The vote is open. Will everyone please vote? The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstention. This item is favorable.
Please continue.
Item number 925R4271, a resolution by City Utilities Committee authorizing the mayor or designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to accept an in-kind donation from the Electrification Coalition Foundation Incorporated as part of the Sustainable Cities Fund Implementation Ready Project Grant, 6 Level 2 alternating current electric vehicle charging units valued at $30,000 to be installed at 5 city locations to support the city's transportation electrification goals, authorizing the mayor as designee to execute any appropriate agreements to accept the donation and for other purposes.
Got a question? I want to just know the locations.
Hello, sir. Members of the council, Eric Smith. So it's these 6 AC chargers will actually be at that Connolly Street location. There was a slight nuance because we're combining 2 efforts. The Make Ready was for the overall Georgia Power effort, but these 6 AC chargers will be at that single location at 650 Connolly Street.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstention. This item is favorable. Item number 1025R 4272, a resolution by City Utilities Committee authorizing the mayor on behalf of the City of Atlanta to enter into an agreement with Savannah College of Art and Design for an in-kind donation of city staff time and services in the form of a class advisor to SCAD Serve class for a period of 1 year to support innovative urban farming, composting solutions, and other activities and for other purposes.
Move approval. It's been moving properly second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. The item is favorable. Mr. Chair, we have 2 items coming off held. The first is item number 12 on page 5. May I sound a caption?
Yes.
Item number 12, 25-01526, an ordinance by Council Member Jason H. Winston to establish the Community Access Media Board in accordance with Section 3-401 of the City of Atlanta Charter, which shall provide oversight, guidance, and public accountability for the city's community media services, including but not limited to public, educational, and governmental access, to amend Chapter 2, Article 4, Section 2-191, duties of the Office of Communications of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances, to provide that the Office of Communications shall serve as the liaison to the Community Access Media Board, to amend Chapter 34 of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances, to create a new section 34-21 to codify provisions related to the establishment of the Community Access Board and for Community Access Media Board and for other purposes.
I want to add my name to this legislation. Anything from Mr. Wagner? And I'm super excited about this, so if you want to talk
I was going
about
to
it.
say at long last. So the second piece coming off held, as well as the approval, the request for approval for the contract with Atlanta Technical College to be the operator for this. So this is the first piece of legislation which would create this this oversight board. All right. So one of the efforts of this community access plan was to create an actual oversight board that hasn't really existed since it was originally created. At some point in time in the history, the board sort of fell off and ended up becoming what was called the People TV Board. It was sort of their board of directors, and we didn't have proper oversight, right? So we want to make sure to create that and not have, not have city communications or some other city body trying to oversee what's on the channel, right? It's supposed to be public access with as little government involvement as possible, obviously with our support, but oversight should be independent. So this allows for, I think, a 7-person board, be 3 appointments contained within the 3 at-large districts, an appointment from the city council president, and 3 appointments from the mayor to fill out this board and provide oversight for the eventual operator. That's the basics of the board. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer, but I think it's generally straightforward. Be there to hear complaints about any content issues, as well as receive reports from the operator to ensure that there's equitable access and reports on the hours and number of participants and et cetera from that perspective.
Thank you. Move approval. What questions? Okay. First, I want to add my name. Bring it forth. Then.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. This item is amended.
Move it. Second. Second by Councilmember Collins, moved by Councilmember Shook. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. Item is favorable as amended. Takes us to item number 13. The substitute changes to caption. May we have a motion to bring?
I'm gonna add my name to this one as well.
Okay. Well, we can incorporate you as a co-sponsor into the substitute.
Thank you.
May we have a motion to bring forth the
Motion to
substitute?
bring forth the substitute. It's been moved and properly second by Councilmember Juan. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. Four yeas, 0 nays. The substitute before you, the substitute replaces the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia with the Technical College System of Georgia and replaces Georgia State University with Atlanta Technical College. It also adds language specifying that the account information will be determined by the CFO in the 12th whereas clause and the 4th be it resolved clause. Item number 13, 25R 3900, a resolution by council members Jason H. Winston and Antonio Lewis authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Atlanta on behalf of the Mayor's Office of Communications and the Technical College System of Georgia by and on behalf of Atlanta Technical College for the operation of the City of Atlanta's community access media, including Channel 24 digital channels and other educational programs for a term of 3 years to be paid by the city in amount not to exceed $590,000 for the first year and in an amount not to exceed $500,000 in each of the second and third years of the term respectively, and a one-time payment during the 3-year term of up to 40% of the City of Atlanta's PEG funds due under its cable franchise agreement for capital upgrades to the locations for education, training, and production, including to space to be provided by the City of Atlanta's 2 Peachtree Street, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia, 30303. All contract will be charged to and paid from the fund department organization and account numbers listed herein and for the purposes.
Second.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable on the substitute.
And I have I have a question. So the 2 Peachtree Street, Atlanta ATC will be running that now?
Yes, so the obvious change that happened from the last time is Georgia State had dropped off. They made a determination that they didn't want to move forward, so we moved full steam ahead with Atlanta Technical College, including that 2 Peachtree location, as well as some, I think, facilities on their campus that are under construction and being utilized right now. So it'll be both. So 2 Peachtree will be Atlanta Tech's, and as they determine to use the funds, they can, expand into that. We want to partner with them on.
I'm excited about that. Now ATC's moved north. Part of my goal as a council person was to help ATC and help Atlanta Metropolitan grow. So to see it grow north, and I know we were discussing ATC being equal partners with Georgia State on this. To see ATC take over the entire program shows that Dr. Seals and the folks are doing some really good work down at Atlanta Technical College. So this weekend we just gave away 10,000 turkeys together. So thank you again for that.
Yeah.
Austin, for your work the past 2 years on this. I know this is something that we've been having a lot of discussions about around this. Thank you also to our mayor's office. Thank you also to Dr. Jabari Samama, who I've had countless of hours of discussions with about this. Thank you, Mr. Shook, Ms. Bond, Councilmember Bond, and Councilmember Boone, who hosted events, and Council-elect President Marcy Colley-Overstreet, who hosted events around this. So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you all.
Mr. Chair, that takes us to back to item number 2. May I sound the caption?
Please.
Item number 2, 25-0-1660, an ordinance by Councilmember Andrea L. Boone, waiving Part 2, Chapter 2, Article 10, Division 4 of the Atlanta City Code, as well as any other conflicting code provisions, to authorize the mayor or his designee to execute the second amendments to emergency procurement agreements listed herein for small meter installation services with Titan Unlimited LLC and KM Davis Contracting Company Incorporated, respectively, on behalf of the Department of Watershed Management, to extend the term of each agreement for 2 years, effective January 15, 2026 through January 14, 2028, to add funding in a combined amount not to exceed $4 million and 0 cents. All contract work will be charged to and paid from the fund, department, organization, and account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Is there anyone from, I'm sorry, is there anyone from procurement here? All right, Mr. Chair, we apparently procurement doesn't feel it important enough to come explain this to us. I'm going to make an amendment to this paper, and then I'm going to make a motion to send it forward with no recommendation on condition. But the amendment is I will give up to I would recommend that we give them up to a year to get this special procurement figured out. So I'll make that motion to change the date from January 14, 2028 to January 14, 2027. All right. Okay. And let's at least put that bumper guard on first is my recommendation, and then I'm going to make a second motion, but let's see if there's any discussion or if that carries.
And I appreciate that amendment. I'll second it, so it won't, I know you don't need a second in committee to get it on, but I'll second it because it's Councilmember Juan. Do we have anything from the department?
No, Assistant Commissioner Hugh Smith, again, I do not. I just wanted to thank you for at least moving it forward, and we'll continue to work with procurement to make sure that we, acquire full service agreement, full
I
contract.
want to ask the two folks, Councilmember Collins, I apologize.
Oh, no, sorry. This is good conversation for me to understand in terms of changing, the terms here in committee, so that's perfectly fine. I'm good with my questions.
So I got two questions. One is to the attorneys. This is something we can do. What are the ramifications for us doing this?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the underlying issue, the question?
Yeah, so understanding if it's permissible for us to change the contractual terms from a 2-year to a 1-year to be able to at least move it forward under the emergency procurement procedures versus holding it since we don't have any additional information for procurement today.
Yeah. Is she from
I
procurement?
take that yes as an answer.
She might be from procurement.
Hi, Brandy with Department of Procurement, Director of Implementation. What question did you all have?
So there was concern. I'll let Councilman Juan, please.
All right,
go
so
ahead.
the heartburn around this right now is that it's set up as an emergency procurement, and y'all in the department are asking for a 2-year emergency procurement, which does not pass the smell test for me. I felt like emergency procurements are for emergency situations, and we should not have emergency situations that last for 2 years. The explanation we got from the department was they needed time. They had trouble with the procurement. They needed more time. I am, in that context, I'm comfortable with a 1-year, 12 months to get that all figured out. And the question, though, is that if we amend this paper to only let it go out to 2027, are there any legal or operational reasons that would prevent us from being able to make that change?
Okay, I'm not sure with the answer on that. We could definitely circle up with the CPO. But this was authorized under the previous CPO. So we could take a chance to look at that and get back with you all.
All right, well then I would encourage that we go ahead and still try it, and then we have till Monday for y'all to either let us know a better justification for a 2-year extension or go with a 1-year. So yeah, my motion still holds, Mr. Chair.
And we definitely would like to do a full procurement on it so we could make sure the CPO circles up.
Yeah, and Mr. Juan, just to answer you and Councilmember Collins' question, yes, generally speaking, legally, you can do it for 1 year instead of 2. However, I don't know the specifics of how that might impact, contract pricing and other contract term issues in this matter. So you can certainly do the 1 year, I guess, for now. And between now and council, if they want to make the argument for 2 years, you can always amend to council.
So it's been moved and open. Please open the vote. Movement sec. It was seconded by myself. Moved by Councilmember Juan.
The vote is
Please open the
open.
vote.
The vote is closed, 5 yeas, 0 nays. Item is
All right, Mr. Chair, if I may, I'm going to make a motion to move it forward with no recommendation on condition. The condition is, I understand that we've looked into Elms and there should be a letter from the CPO authorizing an emergency procurement. That is not part of the documentation we see, and I would want that associated with this, particularly if we find by Monday that there is a request for a 2-year extension. I want it to be justified, the rationale as to why we're doing that. So I will make that motion to, again, move it forward, no recommendation, condition of a CPO letter justifying the emergency procurement for whatever time period we land on.
Second. It's been moving properly second by myself. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed, 5 yeas, 0 nays. This item is forwarded with no recommendation as amended on condition.
One statement from me, I think we've been involved in procurement more than we ever wanted to as council members the past couple weeks. So that's a message to the folks over there. Try to clear some of this stuff up. Try to take some of the suggestions from that task force that our council president-elect created about 2 years ago. Thank you again.
Mr. Chair, that concludes our legislative items. We can return to section F for our presentation.
Before we go to the presentation, Mr. Shook, is there anything you would like to say? Is this being your... Mr. Shook, is there anything you would like to say? Or can I transfer to the end of the chairship meeting in my last meeting of the year? I probably won't get this seat again to Mr. Shook.
Move we adjourn.
No, Mr. Councilmember, we still have a presentation.
Okay, okay, so you see what I'm saying? Okay, let's bring forth the presentation. We will not transfer the seat over to Mr. Shook right now. He's on his Thanksgiving behavior.
Good morning, members of the Utilities Committee. I am Chandra Farley, Chief Sustainability Officer for City of Atlanta, and we'll be providing an overview of Q4 for the Mayor's Office of Sustainability and Resilience. We always like to start with the Mayor's vision as a reminder of how we center our work focused on safe, healthy, and connected neighborhoods. And for us, this vision really undergirds our charter, which is focused on science-based analysis and rooted in environmental justice. Since we are going last, you've already met one of our 2 new team members, Eric Smith. We're happy to have him and excited to have a Navy veteran on our team. And also Jennifer Thompson, who is supporting our urban agriculture and food systems team on some food systems innovation planning work. So always want to start with our goals. What you will notice and what we have been talking about over the course of longer just this year, that we have been focused on updating our goals, tracking our metrics, making updates as we prepare to develop our first climate resilience action plan. So in our framework, which I have presented, which I present at each of these presentations, if you look at the climate mitigation side of the framework, this is where you see our updated goals. And as we move forward in building out the framework into the city's first climate resilience action plan, wanted to share a snapshot of our stakeholder engagement. We've actually updated that Atlantans engaged number to capture also a lot of the survey and additional meetings that we did prior to launching our official process in April this year. So these Atlantans engaged number will reflect a little bit more than just the previous 6 months. And we will be, and I'll talk about this a bit later, we will be presenting the final draft outline of our climate resilience action plan, as well as the city's first climate risk and vulnerability assessment at our Q4 Climate Resilience Advisory Board meeting on December 3rd from 11 to 1. You are all welcome to join us, and I'd be happy to circulate that invitation So we continue, even though our pilot is complete for Weatherize ATL, we continue to talk about this. Our partners, Partners in Action for Healthy Living, are continuing to do outreach and engagement efforts, filtering calls, working through the wait list, as we will be able to serve approximately 60 additional homes with the dollars that this committee and council supported allocating from the Community Energy Trust Fund. So we're excited to continue that work and also make sure that residents are aware of other programs that are open right now. One of those is through the Georgia Environmental Finance Authority, which the Home Energy Rebates Program, which can support residents with auditing, as well as dollars to support electrification for things like heat pumps, and a new program called the West Side Resilience Corridor, which we are partnering with, also promoting the GEFA, Georgia Environmental Finance Authority program, as well as continuing to make sure people are aware of Georgia Power's energy efficiency program options. So our fleet electrification and EV charging updates, as you saw from the legislation we put forward this morning and many of our updates this year, we have been busy. Was excited to accept an award, a national award for the city for our 2025 EV Readiness Ordinance update from the Electric Innovation Institute. We were awarded their inaugural Policy Innovation Award, and that is due in large part to the fire and safety standards that we embedded into this EV Readiness Ordinance update. So once again, like with our original ordinance, we are not only being innovative, but being national leaders. Also, we have recently published an update to the accompanying EV Readiness Workbook. So there was quite a bit of stakeholder engagement. Our partners at Electrification Coalition and departmental partners. We have pretty much all 40 departments and offices who participate in our biweekly interdepartmental EV readiness and fleet electrification working group. And also, we rose another spot in the rankings for the NAFA Green Fleet Awards. In my first year here, second year, we went from 35 to 19, which was a major jump. We're always excited to chase our friends in Cobb County. And then from 2024 to 2025, we rose another ranking. Someone on our team, I believe from Department of Public Works, did some analysis. If the Green Fleet Awards were just for municipal governments, these rankings would put us in the top 10. So very exciting. And just related to follow up on your question, Councilmember Lewis, about the Phoenix 3 project and how we are approaching where EV charging can go. That project specifically was a follow-up to a study that we did with RMI, formerly Rocky Mountain Institute, in partnership with Atlanta Housing to investigate specifically how we expand EV charging at affordable multifamily housing developments. 80% of people can charge at home. The other 20% of people like me have to depend on charging here at work, thankfully. So this was the Phoenix 3 project was meant to be connected to and provide access to residents in that development. We did quite a bit of stakeholder engagement over the course of 2023 and 2024. So I'd be happy to share those studies with you. And as we move forward, we also have a charging map where we did some mapping when we first started working on this to show where all the charging ports are across the city of Atlanta, where they are not. And so this is informing our implementation planning, particularly the implementation you'll see coming forward with the implementation of our Climate Resilience Action Plan, where our EV charging expansion goals will focus on our most energy burdened neighborhoods, as well as those priority corridors as identified by the Mayor's Neighborhood Revitalization Initiative. We are officially 5 sites now in our City of Atlanta Carbon Credit Program. We are very excited about this. You have the link there where you can go to look at that. We should have final verification on these last 4 sites by the end of the year. We have enlisted some technical assistance support around the actual sale of the credits. There's a lot of sort of conversations with procurement and law about how we do this, as this is something the city has never done before. And I'm excited that we are getting close to being able to sell the credits that we have generated from Lake Charlotte Nature Preserve. We also hosted a webinar in partnership with our International Urban Regional Cooperation Program, which is facilitated by the European Union, including North American cities and European Union cities. As our carbon credit program, as we've been a part of this over the last 2 years, has garnered a lot of interest for others who are looking to set this up in their cities. For our urban ag and food systems update, what are we working on? We have a number of items that we are focused on before the end of the year. I want to thank the Urban Ag and Food Systems team, as that is a key component of our climate resilience action plan, and so we are working towards that. I also want to zero in specifically on the Community Compost Food Waste Reduction Grant, and a call that I got last week maybe from David Bennett at the Municipal Market, who we have been collaborating with. We've allocated a portion of dollars from our Energy Efficiency Conservation Block Grant to decarbonizing and making sure that the municipal market is more energy efficient. But he sent out a frantic call last week. The community composter that had normally been taking this had to stop. And so we did some LinkedIn posting. Our Director of Urban Ag, Jeolu Baiwu, reached out to our partners at Compost Now and Think Green to give David a short-term solution. As we know, it is getting close to Thanksgiving. The line is already out the door as of yesterday for the greens at the market. But composting, municipal-wide composting, is really Atlanta's Mount Everest of sustainability. So we will be looking forward to publicly launching our community composting food weight reduction grant. Also learning from Livable Buckhead, Denise, who is one of our climate resilience advisory board members, and their Buckhead compost pilot, and also for FIFA World Cup, how we address food waste is a top 3 focus area for sustainability for the tournament. Also, many of you saw we were super excited to fill the well in City Council chambers last Monday to celebrate 500 sustainability ambassadors. As I said last week, I can go anywhere in the city, and people from corporate business executives to neighborhood moms talk about going through this program. So we look forward to continuing that, and are grateful to Michelle Wiseman, who retired from our team, but still works with us in a contract capacity to deliver this program twice a year. If you have not been through the program, I highly recommend you start planning for the spring session. And at City Council next week, I also want to thank Council President Doug Shipman for sponsoring the Sustainability Ambassadors Proclamation. Next Monday, we will be recognizing Atlanta Youth Climate Action Day, and want to thank Councilmember Ishay Collins for sponsoring that proclamation. This is our 2nd year of being able to invest $150,000 into youth, really not just City of Atlanta, but metro-wide, into projects that they designed and developed and implemented. And I mentioned our December 3rd, Q4 Climate Resilience Advisory Board meeting, where we will be rolling out a first look at a final draft of the Climate Resilience Action Plan, as well as our climate risk and vulnerability assessment. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions from my colleagues? Thank you. Thank you for the work that you've been doing. Thank you and the team for the work that you've been doing. Look forward to continuing this process and seeing more investments in the city of Atlanta. Thank you again.
Absolutely. Also meant to say thank you to my cabinet colleague, GM Ricky Smith, for incorporating his sustainability report into his presentation yesterday. We worked very closely with the amazing team, the amazing sustainability team at the airport. Dr. Quinter Warren is doing an amazing job growing that team. And also thanks to Commissioner Solomon Cavanis. We were excited to literally roll out our first rubber modified asphalt project in partnership with the Atlanta Department of Transportation. This will be major for addressing the urban heat island effect in some of our communities that are experiencing extreme heat and that effect disproportionately. Thank you.
Anything from my colleagues? Thank you, Mr. Shook, for the service you've done for us so much. We had 2 goals this year. One of them was the Water and Sewer Appeals Board to get them, 2 of my goals this year. One was the Water and Sewer Appeals Board to actually get it to working how I thought it can actually help people. I think we got that through today. And the second was the people, not People TV, but Community Access TV, to actually get that back working how it should. So I feel like we've been able to, this year, working with your institutional knowledge, we're able to get some things done. So thank you again, Mr. Shook. Thank you to the people I served with this year. Anything from my colleagues? Meeting adjourned.